How we doing, folks? We're back out here in the little shop that might be able to. I think I'm gonna get started back on the dipstick table. Work on making the legs and things for it, and we'll see what we can get done with it. See if we can get it done, or I don't know. We might make kindling. Who knows? But anyway, I'll get you set up, and I'll be back. All right, folks. We're going to saw our uprights up out here. I've already measured this out. I'm going to make them 2 5/8 wide. Just basic ripping. I did end up getting get another piece of ash off the shelf. Because the other piece I had selected, it just had a few cracks and flaws in it that I couldn't cut around, so I laid it back up on the shelf, and I'll find something else to do with it later. Maybe I'll need something thinner or whatever. But let's see if we can get this ripped down, and we'll go from there. Alright, got those two pieces. These will be our uprights. We'll set up here and see if we can make our feet. I'll bring you back when I get things set up for that. Alright, I've got it set up. I'm going to do kind of I don't think it's called a mortise joint, not sure. Or a dado joint. I do have a dado blade, but it takes forever and a day to set that thing up, and I'm just not going to do it. So what we're going to do is we're going to make 2 feet out of this one piece. But I've got the saw set up. We're just going to run it through here, flip it over. We're going to cut us a couple of joints there where we want to be at, and we'll flip it around and take the middle out. I have to do away with the rip fence altogether. I'll be back. Alright, folks, as you can see, we've made several cuts across through here. Just going to pop these little pieces out. That should give us a pretty decent joint. Let's hope anyway. There's better ways of doing it, and I do have better tools to do this with, but you may not have those tools. Except for that one. Ooh. Now let's see if we can find a shop hammer. Alright folks, I'm back. I went ahead and broke out the router, knocked that out, knocked that joint there out. I've got my table saw set up. We're going to rip this into 2 feet. So got the stove a little while. Alright. I'll get that other leg over here and we'll get this glued up and clamped up. Ready to go for the night. But, anyway, I'll bring y'all back when we get these done and get ready to do our center joint between the 2 legs. Alright folks, as you can see, I'm back. We've got our legs glued up here, got our feet glued up. I'm just gonna do put a little arch in them. You can't see that. I've got a line in the center and I'm centering it up with the center drill of this drill bit. There's no way I could get a camera in there to focus on that. Just trust me, I'm pretty close to center. And we're gonna put a little arch in the feet of it. Now this drill press doesn't have enough throw to go through all of this, so I'll have to it'll cut one out and I'll have to take them apart and do the rest of the cut on the other one, which is no big deal. I've got to take them apart anyway because we're going to do a little work out here on the ends too. All right, you can see I've got some stops set up here. All I'm really wanting to do is kind of put a little decorative edge out here on the end of this. I've got everything squared back up with each other, clamped back together, so we'll see what we can do with it. All right, everybody, I'm back. We're gonna cut some tenons on the ends of these legs and cut some mortise joints into these. That way we'll be able to attach these like this, the mortise and tenon. It'll be solid. It'll stay. To do this, I'm going to set up my table saw. I've already set my rip fence up, but I think I'm going to cut about a 1/2 inch on the depth, and I'll just use a chisel to knock out the excess. Alrighty. Our rip guide over here. So I'm just going to push this up against the fence like so. Make a pass, flip it over, do the same thing again. We'll take our chisel, sharp hammer, get a piece of scrap out here real quick. Piece of scrap wood. Down here, lay this up. And not trying to split this all the way through. I kind of want to score both sides of it first. Well, because you run into that. You ain't careful. I'm sure there's probably a better way. In fact, I know there's a better way. It's all right. We're gonna stand them up and mark our mortise joints anyway. So if it's a little bit narrow, it'll be all right. All right, there's got us one. See if we can get one more. That's ready to come out of there. It's eager. Need to sharpen this chisel a little bit, I believe. All right. see if we can find our center here. Three-quarters, so half, 2.5. 2 3/4, about right there. Just a little square real quick. It is hot in East Tennessee today, I promise. I don't know what the temperature is, but it feels like it's 900. Right. Phew. Let me finish just marking this out and get the mortiser set up, and I'll bring you guys back. I got to turn the fan on in here, and I know you don't want to listen to all that racket. All right, I'm back. I've got this mortiser set up. Essentially, this is how you drill square holes. You know, if you don't have a mortiser, you can always drill round holes and then cut your excess out with a chisel. I've done that for ages. But I've purchased this mortiser, and it has made life a lot simpler. This thing's pretty loud. I may cut one hole and then turn it off, bring you guys back. This thing is pretty loud. Square hole. All right, I'll bring you guys back. Well, folks, I apologize. I got all the mortises cut, Anderson things, and I forgot to hit the play button. So I've got everything assembled. This cross piece, I just, of course, I cut my tin and everything. I split it. My little wooden wedge out of some cherry I had laying around, drove it in there. Everything's glued up, and it's all solid. It'll need a little tweaking here and there, but it'll be all right. Nothing we can't handle. So I'm gonna let this set overnight and do its thing, dry. And well, I'll come back tomorrow. We'll get this thing put together. We'll be done with it. do a little sanding, spray a little finish on it, but after that we'll be done with it. We can get it delivered maybe next week. But till we meet again, I'll see you at a while. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Little Shop of Nightmares. We're back out here this morning. I've already went through the liberty of sanding, you know, just doing our sanding on our legs and things. It's a long and noisy process nobody wants to listen to. I want to do a quick sand around the edges of this, just not kind of knock down some of the high grain. You can see it's kind of, I kind of want to keep that rustic look to it a little bit as I can, but just want to knock that high grain down a little bit. Shouldn't take just a minute. I figured I'd bring you guys along for that. And make sure this is in frame. There we go. What I've used is an old piece of 220. As you can tell, it ripped on me. I'll look around for another piece that I want to hit this top just a little bit, just enough that our finish will stick to it. We don't want to take this, you know, kind of want to take some of the dirt off, but we don't want to take our numbers out. We don't want to take all the dirt out of it. I kind of want that preserved as best I can. The reason I didn't run it on a router, you know, I do have round over bits, and the reason I didn't do that is I kind of want to keep that rough, rustic look to it, and you know, I go through with the sander and just kind of knock it over a little bit. If you mess a little bit, it'll be all right, because, you know, imperfections make all of us human. And if you buy a table that's got a few flaws in it, probably handmade. But let me find another piece of paper and knock this out real quick, and I'll bring you back. All right, I'm back. I've got all our sanding I want to do done. We're going to do a little stain. This is just men wax natural, and all it really does is kind of highlight the grain structure a little bit. And when you're, you know, if you're gonna stain something, finish something, the rougher it is, you know, if you stop with, say, 150 grit paper or whatever, the more stain it'll absorb, but the less grain structure will be highlighted. So if you want to show a lot of grain and don't want to take a lot of color, I would suggest, you know, sanding it smoother. I usually, you know, I sand everything about 220 and call it good enough. It'll take all the stain I need it to and do all the highlight work that I need done. And we can see here that it's doing pretty good. It's taking it well. Like I say, my object with this is to kind of keep it primitive, rough looking. Joe, if you're watching this, no, I'm not finishing the bottom because nobody looks at it. By the time I get this tabletop put on there, get done with this, it'll be this is the last time anybody gonna see the bottom of this, is when this table's complete, you know. When it's done, nobody gonna look at the bottom of the table. It's like looking at the back of a dresser. Nobody does that either. Those of you who don't know Joe, a friend of mine, we do a little woodworking together, and we're used to from time to time. Well, he insists on staining and finishing every square centimeter of anything that we built. Like if it's on the bottom, nobody sees it, I don't care. Just a waste of product to me. You can see this is turning out really nice, looking pretty good. You can kind of see how that grain comes alive. I mean, and that's kind of what we want. I don't really want to darken the wood any. If I wanted dark wood, I'd have built it out of walnut. But you know, it's best to, my opinion, you know, I mean, everybody does their own thing. Your projects, you do them how you want to. But I just kind of like to let the wood, you know, the beauty of the wood speak for itself. Kind of see you got a few little saw marks in it there where I cut those dowels off. It'll be all right. They had a little character. We all need a little character. Flip it over. We'll do this side. Up here, maybe you can see what I'm doing here. Build it up a little bit. Yeah, there's a few little imperfections here and there. I'm not a master woodworker by no means. I'm not even close. And I don't fully intend these videos to be instructional, or, well, maybe they are instructional, but you know, I don't intend to show off my woodworking abilities, my woodworking skills, because honestly, I have none. You've pretty well seen it. But you know, I make these little videos just to kind of show that if my dumb ass can do it, anybody can do it. You know, it's kind of, you want something, you know, go do it. You know, you want a new table, build you one. You find an old table that's old dresser or something that's all to pieces, which we might do some furniture repair eventually. I don't have anything right now that needs any work, so, but I might find something. And that's kind of where I got my start, was helping a gentleman do some repair work on furniture, on antique furniture, and kind of sparked an interest in me. And just something I enjoy. But you know, I see a lot of channels, guys have got $250,000 worth of equipment. The most expensive piece of equipment I got is my planer, and I promise you, it's on the low end of quality. Um, it's not the best planer made. Probably doesn't even really have the highest reviews. Ooh, missed a spot, I believe. But it does the job, and it does it efficiently for me, my little shop. But you don't have to have $1 million worth of equipment to make furniture and make pens, do woodworking. All you got to really have is some mediocre equipment and a desire to do it and a willingness to learn how to set the equipment up. Because the best miter saw in the world, when you go to set it up to cut a 45, you better check that 45. If you've got a miter saw that'll run and cut wood, that's all you need. That and square, set everything up, set your angles and things. You don't have to have a big fancy stuff. I don't have any. The fanciest thing I got, I guess, is this little wind tabletop lathe that I turn ink pens on, and I bought it used. I've got a little tabletop bandsaw. I bought it new, and I bought my little tabletop drill press new, but the rest of my equipment's used, old, outdated. This Craftsman table saw, I don't know how old it is. I'm on the third motor I've had on it. Train's coming through. You can't hear it. Yes, we know. We are aware fully. Find me a clean rag, wipe my forehead with. It is hot today in East Tennessee. Which that's all good, because we're going to spray some finish here in a little while, and when we do that, a little heat ain't going to hurt it. Let that stain sit there and set up and dry and cure for a couple hours. Overnight would be best, but tomorrow's Sunday, and I try not to do anything I don't have to on Sundays. I want to get this done and get this video uploaded for you guys. But I'll, like I say, you don't have to have $1 million worth of equipment to do some woodworking. Is it nice? Yeah. Yeah, it would be nice to have a big jet lathe over there that dial control, variable speed, digital display that I can say, okay, this is 250 RPMs. It would be nice, but it's not mandatory. One of them table saws, you know, big 12-inch, 240 volt table saw, rip 4x4 width. Yeah, that'd be nice. I don't have it, but I don't need it. You know, you don't need $1 million worth of equipment to make stuff. But I'll bring you back here in a few minutes. I want to set that up, and I'll let that stain kind of set up a little bit, and I'll set things up to we'll attach our top. All right, everybody, I'm back. We're going to use glue, and we're going to use some screws too. Screws just kind of hold it in place, kind of help out a little bit. I've lined one side up here, made me some marks. So when I move this to put glue on it, I don't know where to put it back yet. Then see if we can get some legs on this thing. That's got us. See this one little screw in here. And I do have an impact. It's just in the house and I'm lazy. We're square right there. Put us another screw right here. I will square up the other end and get it squared away, or anchored, attached, whatever, squared away. But I'll bring you back. All right, everybody, I'm back. Believe that stain's set up enough. I just got some men wax, Hellman spar urethane, flat and finish. We'll see if it'll take or not. It may not. I am outdoors. If you can't tell, and I got a fan running in the background. I hope I'm able to speak over it and it's not too irritating. I did wipe everything down with a damp cloth before I set this up out here. There are better ways of doing this. The man who taught me this kind of stuff, he's got a big spray booth and big compressor and everything. He does all his refinish work in. I usually don't do finish work. I don't do, because I don't like it. Let's see. If we'd put finish on the bottom, I wouldn't have been able to do that. But me being the cheap guy I am, I'm able to do that. Just a little more up here. Honestly, the single coat on that bottom is probably plenty. Your edges and your top is going to take the most abuse out of any area on it. All I know is the dipstick better be happy. But as I say, I don't do finish work because I don't like it. I don't like fooling with it. I always end up with a run or something. Something don't look right to me, and it just irritates me. I just as soon build it and let somebody else finish it. But the gentleman I'm building this for, he's a pretty good guy when he wants to be. And he works a lot, and I don't know that he'd have time to do the finished work on it or not. But here it is, pretty much one complete dipstick table. A good view of the top of it, everything. Let that set up and dry and do whatever it's got to do. I'm gonna go in and start working on uploading the video. But if you've enjoyed this build, thank you. Like, subscribe, comment. Do you have any ideas for anything you want to see me do? Comment, let me know. But as always, thank you for your time and your patience and putting up the old hillbilly. We'll see you on the next one.